Dude, I've just got to tell you, congratulations. Turn down for what? #1. Congratulations.
Yeah, turn down for one. Turn down for what? #1. Going on 6 weeks, probably going to be 7 weeks on the iTunes dance charts. It's a blessing. We sold about 740,000 singles up to this date right now. And actually this song it picked back up again. The sales went up this week. So I'm like amazed. I'm like, who is buying this doggone record? But I appreciate everybody for supporting us. And I think it's, doing so well because it's people's attitude. When you create a song that fits with someone's a part of their lifestyle, those songs never go away. So, I mean, people are always turning up on the weekends. And sometimes people tell them you need to turn down, and they like, no, turn down for what? And that's when the song comes in and takes them to another level. Or even people are hitting me like they go to the gym and they're working out in the gym. They play the song in the gym and it gives them an extra pushes their workout to another level. So people are using it in so many different ways. Athletes tell me they listen to the song before the games, or even during the games they hear the song. It gives them a little bit more pumped up. So it's touching people in so many different ways, and I'm just blessed that me and Snake are experiencing all this success right now.
You kind of alluded to this a second ago when you said who's buying this. Were you actually a little surprised? You're like, what's going on? I mean, it's literally, and it's certified gold. Congratulations. Yeah. So you struck gold, man. I mean, that's just cool. That doesn't happen with everybody. You know that.
The first day it was released, the first week it was released, we sold 100,000 plus copies. And I thought it was going to just drop off like the next week. But I mean, I guess, people really love the song. We created a great masterpiece, and they're not letting it die. It's continually like building and building and building. And we are about to drop the video in about 2 weeks, right for spring break. So I think it's going to get even bigger when people see this crazy video we got.
And I'm excited that I get to actually be in the video, so thank you, Lil Jon. That's great. I just dropped that on
I'm not even in the video, but it's that crazy of a video.
Then I'll play your character. Hey, so, you and I have met before when I was in Los Angeles at Power 106, and, I've been around and seen hip-hop evolve. And, right now, I remember the days when they were, Snoop, of course, still doing it big, but, we had Biggie, we had Pac, and then... But now it's like everybody with a computer. What are your thoughts on where hip-hop is going right now?
One thing I like about where hip-hop is that you have kids that are what we call the iPod generation, where they're listening to like EDM, they're listening to 2 Chainz, they're listening to all these Miley Cyrus, they're listening to Swedish House Mafia, they're listening to all these different kinds of artists and music all at once. So it's like music is starting to become just one. It's just becoming one thing of music. It's not about the genres anymore, because growing up, if you grew up in a certain area, you listen to hip hop. If you grew up in another area, you listen to straight pop. But now it's all mixed up, and I think that's really great, and it helps the music to grow and go into different places.
There is a big show that we have on Fox. You may have heard of it. It's called American Idol. And I got to get your thoughts on shows like, be honest with me, because we're creating, stars. I mean, Kelly Clarkson, of course, Carrie Underwood, Philip Phillips are most recent that had huge success, but even like Adam Lambert and people like that. What are your thoughts? You can talk about American Idol or those type of competition shows in general.
Me, I'm in the industry, so I don't want to watch it. I'm not going to lie. I'm in the industry, I don't want to watch no singers, and, I want to watch Walking Dead, Breaking Bad. I don't want to watch no shows about my job, because when I'm at home chilling, I don't want to work. So it's kind of like my job is still going on. But I mean, I think it's great for the artists and the talent, because they, people that never would have gotten record deals or anything or exposure are getting, even down to the guy that did Pants on the Ground. You don't even have to win to make it. So I think it's great, for exposure for people, and to show that just average people have talent and they can make it too.
Which we're going to talk about television for a second. Follow-up. What if they asked you to be a judge on one of those shows?
I mean, I'd be definitely down. I mean, I worked with some really big artists. I had a lot of success in music and been on some other TV shows and know how to deal with all kinds of different personalities. Just got a cool sense of humor. So I think I'll be kind of cool to be on one of those shows. I'll be down.
We'll send it to network. All right, I got to talk about Celebrity Apprentice because my mom is jealous and I'm standing here talking to you. I love that show. I don't watch a lot of the reality show. I know it's on another network, but dude, when you were announced as being on, I'm like, dude, I got to watch my man on this. Just briefly, let's talk about that show because honestly, I mean, it seemed really intense. You know, we'll talk about Omarosa if you want to. Any secrets about Donald Trump that we need to know, or?
Well, to start off, like the show, man, it was one of the hardest. The first time was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, and it's so hard and intense because as the show progresses, if you're still on the show, you have less people to do the work. And one thing, even before it gets to that point, though, one thing people have to understand is we wake up in the morning, we go to set where he gives us a task 9 or 10 in the morning. And if you're a project, you don't know if you're going to be project manager the next day. You might be like, if it's this kind of task, I want to do it, but you don't know what kind of task it really is. So you're not able to prepare yourself. And then he gives us the task, like I said, at 10 in the morning or 9 in the morning. You have to make a decision and roll with your idea by 11 to 12 o'clock. So, and then like you have to complete the entire task in that day by 6, 7 o'clock in the evening and then present whatever it was the next day. So imagine you're doing that 6 days a week for 2 months. You know, it kind of gets a little tough, man. So it's really intense, and one thing that the show showed me is that I can do anything. If I can do that show twice. Now the second time was even harder because we were losing so much. Then I got women on my team, and women are fighting, and you know, men, we don't like all that. We stay away from the drama. We pretty much like it is what it is with guys. But yeah, it was a lot going on with the women, and so it was even worse. It was even harder to deal with. But it was a great experience because we also raised a lot of money for charity, raised a lot of awareness for different people's charities, and you know, America got to see hip hop in a different light. You know.
Any Donald Trump? What was it like when you met him the first time? Were you a little bit? I mean, I've never met him, but I think it'd be kind of cool.
He was cool. I remember like the first time I did the show, like a couple of episodes in, he was like, "Lil Jon, come here. My kids told me you're a big deal." I was like, "I'm all right." And then it's just funny for him not to know who I was, and then for him to see me progress through the show and learn to have respect for me, and just to see my work ethics and how I deal with people and how like I can get up on a stage and do a presentation and wow the entire audience. So it was amazing that, you know, for him to see him gain that respect for me and for him to have as much respect as he has for me now. And he really helped me out a lot too by giving my charity, you know, an extra $100,000 that he didn't have to. So that was amazing. So him and his family are amazing people.
You've been to Houston before. Actually talked to Paul Wall today. He's a good friend of mine. I know he watches us. Talk about H-Town. Any good stories? Barbecue? Have you eaten anything good?
No, I need to get into some barbecue. I just remember going to Papa Do's every time I come to Houston. Like, is Papa Do's from Houston or New Orleans? I think it's from Houston because that's the only time I eat it when I'm in Houston. And of course, Paul Wall is the homie. Back in the day when I used to come, when it was Paul Wall and Chameleon there in the group together. That's how far I go back. When I used to step off the plane, they were the first people to greet me, you know, and we would all hang out the whole weekend. So that's family.
He got me to the Grammys organization today.
Oh, congrats.
Actually, he was texting me a couple hours ago.
And I got to give a shout out to Johnny Dang, TV Johnny. I just went, as soon as I got off the plane, I went and saw him to go get a new grill, get my grill shined up, so I'm nice and shiny today. Yeah. So got a new grill coming. Oh, and I just closed a new deal today. We have a new single dropping with Mac J and myself, Mac J and Lil Jon. It's called let's just say Turned Up. Let's Get Turned Up. So that'll be dropping for spring break. So all you spring breakers that have another party song, yeah.